What I did would shock even you, I know it for sure. Or my ex would never in a million years have thought I was capable of such betrayal. I'm sitting here in my tiny apartment in the Atlanta suburbs right now, lights off, only the cold glow from my phone lighting up my face. My hands are freezing. There's this hollow emptiness inside, like someone ripped out everything alive. Tears just keep falling. I don't even try to wipe them anymore. He left almost a month ago. Just packed his things, looked at me with eyes that had nothing in them, no anger, no pain, just emptiness. Said quietly, "I don't need you anymore." The door closed softly, no slam, and I stood frozen in the middle of the room, like the world had stopped. Since then, I wake up every night in a cold sweat, heart pounding, whispering into the dark. How could I? And the worst part, I didn't stop when he left. I tried to get him back at any cost, and that only destroyed everything completely. It all started last summer, in August. I was walking through Lenox Square, iced coffee in hand, and suddenly I saw them. Her, Sarah, my old high school friend from that small town in Ohio where we both went to school before her parents moved to Georgia. The one I envied so much that sometimes I couldn't breathe from it. In school, she was everything. Beautiful, confident. Every guy turned to look. Her parents bought her the best of everything. She always smiled like the world belonged to her. And me. I was invisible. Nobody noticed me. Nobody invited me. Nobody remembered me. And now, here she is, walking arm in arm with him, tall, handsome, successful. He looks at her with such tenderness, she laughs, leans into him. I froze by the Starbucks. It felt like someone twisted a knife in my chest. I couldn't breathe. Tears stung my eyes even though I didn't even understand why. Why does she have everything? Why is it always her and never me? I went home and scrolled through her Instagram until morning. Every photo hit like a punch. Them on the beach in Miami, them with the dog on the couch, them at a fancy restaurant with a city view. I opened his profile, Jake. Senior developer, good salary, post memes, travel pics, everything like a dream. Meanwhile, I was working the register at Target, renting a crappy one-bedroom in a sketchy area where I'm scared to walk at night, counting every dollar to see if I'd have enough for gas until next paycheck. The jealousy burned inside me. I lay down and whispered into my pillow. What if he was with me? What if I just took him? I scared myself with those words. But I woke up the next morning and the thought had already taken root and started living its own life. From that day, I couldn't stop. Every evening I sat with my phone, jotting down everything. When he stays late at work, when she's at Orange Theory, where they grab coffee in the mornings. I knew his schedule better than my own. I told myself, it's just curiosity. But my hands shook while I scrolled. I wanted to be closer. I wanted him to look at me the way he looked at her. In October, I went for it. I drove to his office parking garage, borrowed my friend's old car, parked, and waited. When he came out and got into his Tesla, I slowly backed up like I didn't see him and grazed his rear bumper. Just a scratch. My heart was jumping out of my chest. I got out, started apologizing, voice trembling. He looked, sighed, but smiled. No big deal. We exchanged numbers for insurance. I drove away and cried the whole way home, from fear, from excitement, from the fact that it actually worked. We started texting, first about the insurance, then about everything. I tried to be light and funny. I'm always getting into some mess. Guess that's my superpower. He replied fast, sent dog pics. 2 weeks later, I wrote, "Coffee sometime, so I can apologize properly." He said yes. We sat in a little cafe near his office. He talked about work. I listened and thought, he's here, with me. Not with her. Inside, I was singing and dying of guilt at the same time. And it did. He saw an old photo on my phone, me and Sarah at prom, arms around each other. He froze, asked, "That's her?" I tried to dodge, but he already knew. He searched, found my old Facebook posts, saw the same high school. He looked at me like I was a stranger, whispered, "You did all this on purpose." I said nothing. He packed in 15 minutes, said, "You disgust me," and left. I stood there, couldn't move. Inside, everything was screaming, Don't go. But he was gone. Then I lost control. Sent him hundreds of messages. Called from different numbers. Made fake accounts. Saw Sarah trying to get him back, and it drove me insane. I wrote her anonymously. He left because of your cheating. She replied the next day. Elizabeth, is that you? Why? I cried for hours. She didn't yell, just asked why. And I didn't have an answer. I went further. Bumped into him by accident at his favorite cafe. Sat across from him, said I love him, that I've changed. He listened in silence, then stood up and walked away. No words. I sat there with cold coffee and felt like I was dying. The worst thing, I called his best friend. Told him Sarah was cheating, that I was just trying to protect Jake. The friend believed it at first. Told Jake. Jake called me at night. Voice like ice. You crossed every line. My lawyer knows. Disappear. I heard the beeps and collapsed on the floor. And then the message from Sarah came. I was pregnant when he left. I lost the baby a month after he packed his things. I'm not blaming only you, but you could have just talked to me, back in high school, or now. I read it and couldn't breathe. I didn't know about the baby. I sat on the bathroom floor, hugged my knees, and howled. Screamed into the emptiness. Forgive me, forgive me. Tears streamed. My throat tore. I felt something inside me break forever. Now I'm alone. I work on autopilot. Go to the store, sleep in fragments. Every morning I wake up thinking, I'm a murderer. I killed their family. I killed their baby. I killed myself. The guilt chokes me. I open his profile. Empty. She deleted all the old posts. They're both trying to move on, and I can't. Sometimes I think about writing them. I'm sorry. I'm a monster. But I'm terrified it would only hurt them more. I don't know what to do next. I want to disappear. I want someone to tell me I can still be human. Guys, tell me honestly, what would you do if you were me right now? Would you try one more time to beg forgiveness on your knees? Or would you just vanish forever so you don't cause any more pain? Has anyone here had jealousy like this that ate you alive from the inside? How did you get out? Please write. I really need to hear that I'm not a completely lost cause. That at least someone believes you can crawl out of this hell.